Welcome, everyone, to the latest edition of the Bullpen with Adam the Bull, brought to you by Bet Rivers. On today's podcast, wow, what an ending, what a comeback, and what a win by the Cleveland Browns, who, despite what seems like a zillion injuries, I know there's not really a word, zillion, it's not an amount of money, but it's not a number at all. But the Browns have fought through an incredible amount of injuries. Their offensive line in tatters, the team down by 2 scores, and they find a way, but they almost didn't, because the Bears threw a Hail Mary pass on the last play of the game that landed in the belly of a Bears wide receiver. More on that in a little bit. But first, we got to start where the game started. In the beginning, in Cleveland, in the rain, in the wind, Joe Flacco looking to play well for a third straight game. How did he do? That's all coming up. The play-by-play, the analysis, the reaction, the other games, where the Browns stand. It's all coming up on this latest edition of the Bullpen with Adam the Bull, brought to you by Bet Rivers.
You're watching Adam the Bull on the Bet Rivers Network.
And before we get going here, I want to remind you to get extra value this football season with Bet Rivers Squares. Win up to $10,000 in bonus money. Bet $10 in same-game parlays on any game with the Squares icon to earn a square. This game did not get off to a particularly good start. In fact, the Browns on the offensive side played very poorly for much of the afternoon. But in the end, when it mattered, they got the victory. But we talked about this. The Browns starting the game offensively, unable to do anything. They won the toss. They decided to go on offense for the first time to start the game. Not for the first time, but they decided to get the ball first to start the game. It didn't work out. The Browns had to punt the ball after they got stuck. It wasn't a 3-and-out, but they were stopped at their own 44-yard line. They punted, and it was clearly early in the game a big-time defensive battle. The Bears went 3-and-out, something the Browns have been really good at. Then they punted. And the Browns went 3-and-out. Then they punted. Then the Bears went 3-and-out. And they punted. Then the Browns went 4-and-out. And they punted. Then the Bears went 6-and-out. And they punted. And you guessed it, the Browns then went 3-and-out. And they punted. Oh, wait, the Bears, they went 3-and-out. And they punted. So, not much doing. I said the Browns got off to a bad start, but specifically the offense. And the offense, as I said, did not play well for much of the day, but they did when it mattered. So, when the Browns got the ball back after the fourth punt by the Bears, fourth punt by the Bears, the Browns got it back at their own 9-yard line just 1 minute into the second quarter. There were a lot of possessions in the first quarter, but not much done with any of them. The ball was barely moved by either team. Both defenses were playing extremely well. Obviously, the Browns defense has been great for most of the season. Hadn't been quite as good until last week. It was better. This week, sensational against the Bears. They played an absolutely monster game for the day, for the whole game. But the offense couldn't do anything. It was all punts. Then the Browns got it, as I said, early second quarter from their own 9. They couldn't run the ball. They were struggling to run the ball. The offensive line was a mess. We all know what's happened with the tackle positions. Garen Christian's been playing left tackle. The turnstile himself, James Hudson's been playing right tackle. So they've been using their second and third tackles in those positions. Second left tackle, third right tackle, their fourth and fifth tackles overall. The top 3 obviously all done for the season. We knew Ethan Pochik might miss the game. In fact, he did. And then Joel Bitonio, who's battling a back issue before the game, tweaked it within the game, and he had to leave the game early. And that was part of the reason the Browns couldn't run. Now, I think Jerome Ford deserves some criticism. He ran with no vision. He ran with no confidence. He looked like he was lacking energy out there. That was disappointing and something the Browns got to look at. But mostly it was the offensive line doing a terrible job, really across the board for the first 3 quarters. And on the second play of the first drive by the Browns in the second quarter, Joe Flacco throwing to Cedric Tillman. I don't know if Joe made the wrong read or Cedric Tillman ran the wrong route. Joe was expecting Cedric Tillman to cut back to the middle of the field. Cedric Tillman stayed outside. So it was an easy pick for Eddie Jackson, who returned the ball to the Browns' 1-yard line, and finally a team had an open door. And then we had the craziest possession from the Browns. For the Bears. They start at their own 1-yard line. Technically, it was only 4 plays. I shouldn't say technically. Officially, it was only 4 plays. But there were actually 9 plays ran in a drive that started at the 1-yard line, for those who somehow missed it. That was the first, not the first sign. The first sign that the Browns defense was doing a great job was forcing the Bears to punt 4 times in a row. But this drive, even though it ended up at a touchdown, the drive started at the 1. The Browns committed 3 penalties, and still it took the Bears till 3rd and goal at the 5. It was a wacky drive. Deontay Foreman goes backwards on the first play, so it's 2nd and goal from the 4. I don't know what happened with the Browns. Their defense has been on top of it. Jim Schwartz has done a great job, but on a 3-play stretch, they had too many men on the field, a pass interference that I thought was a questionable call, and then again too many men on the field. So it should have been 2nd and goal at the 4. Instead, it became 1st and goal at the 1, and then another penalty, 1st and goal at the 1, and then another penalty. But the Browns defense kept making plays. Then a false start on the Bears, and that moved that back. It was 2nd and goal at the 5. Justin Fields incomplete, looking for Mooney, who factored into the game late. We'll get to that. 3rd down and goal, though. It looked like the Browns were going to sack Justin Fields. They couldn't get him. He squeezes out, rolls to his left, finds Cole Kmet in the corner of the end zone, and the Bears take a 7-0 lead. Hardly can blame the Browns defense there. You can blame maybe Jim Schwartz or whoever was not understanding the signals. It was embarrassing that they had 3 penalties in a row, but 2 out of the 3 too many men on the field. Inexcusable. Could the Browns finally get something going offensively after basically a bad pass by Flacco or a bad route by Tillman led to that touchdown? Well, the Browns came through. The only time the offense showed any life in the first 3 quarters of this game was on the following drive. They went 12 plays, 84 yards to tie this game up. Some of the big plays on this one, after they had finally gotten a first down with Cedric Tillman after he had, we'll find out later if he ran the wrong route or Flacco made the wrong thing. You would lean towards the wide receiver making the mistake, but who knows? 3rd down and 7 after they'd gotten 1 first down. Joe Flacco goes deep to Amari Cooper, picks up 27 yards, and the Browns are cooking. So instead of having a punt on a 3rd and long from their own 31, the Browns get the big first down. They turn the field, and now they got a first down at the 27-yard line. Later on that drive, they had a 3rd down and 3 at the Bears' 20-yard line. Kareem Hunt takes a direct snap. He goes 1 yard. So it's 4th and 2. Now it's the 2nd quarter. At this point, there's only 6 minutes left, or just under 6 minutes left, I think. In the 2nd quarter, the Browns had not moved the ball at all except for this drive. I, who's like, go for it, would have understood if Kevin Stefanski kicked the field goal there. I'm not a kick a field goal guy. You know that about me. But I would have understood at a 4th and 2, get some points. Defense is playing great. But once again, Kevin Stefanski stayed true to himself, was aggressive, tried a play that I'm sure if it didn't work, people would have lost their minds. Maybe the Browns would have lost the game, but it did. Dorian Thompson-Robinson comes in to take the snap for Joe Flacco. Every time he's done that so far this year, in the last few weeks for Flacco, he has ran the ball. This time, he throws a screen pass to Jerome Ford, one of the few effective plays for Ford all afternoon. Some good blocking from Elijah Moore, who didn't do much offensively in this game. He was really a non-factor in this one. In fact, Elijah Moore only had 2 catches for 17 yards. He really did nothing in this game. But he had a big block on this play, and it led to the Browns getting the first down on the 4th and 2 at the 14-yard line. They would eventually get another first down on a pass to Cedric Tillman. If you watch the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, you know we had a fence rider question. Who more likely to score a touchdown, Cedric Tillman or the Browns defense? I went with the Browns defense. Neither scored a touchdown, but Cedric Tillman came close as he, on the first down play right after the play to Jerome Ford, Tillman catches the ball, gets tackled at the 1-yard line. Browns don't get in on first down, but they do on second down. Joe Flacco to David Njoku. And David Njoku, we've been saying for years, this guy, great athlete, first-round pick, looks like a absolutely perfect body. He's in great shape, but he's inconsistent, and even earlier this year. But in the last 2 months, he has taken his game to another level. He is no doubt earning that contract, and especially the last 2 weeks, he made a bunch of huge plays. We'll get to some more later, but he scored the first touchdown of this game. It was unbelievable. And David Njoku, who, has 3 touchdowns the last 2 weeks. It's been pretty impressive what he's done, what he's put together, and he seems to have amazing chemistry with Joe Flacco. So they score, they tie the game, it's 7-7. Now, nothing really happens the rest of the first half. Bears go 3 and out. Browns go 4 and out. The Bears did move the ball on the final drive with about a minute to go. And for some reason, the Bears, and let me just remember exactly how many yards it was. Let me look at the play-by-play. So the Bears had a 4th and 4 at the Browns' 37-yard line. That's a 54-yard field goal attempt for Cairo Santos. They decided not to do it and throw a Hail Mary in the end zone, something that became big at the end of the game as well. I didn't understand that. 54, your kicker should at least have a reasonable shot at making a 54-yard field goal. They didn't try it. Justin Fields throws it deep down into the end zone. It was ruled an interception. It probably wasn't. I think it dropped. It doesn't matter. That's the end of the half. So 7-7. Now, second half, Bears get the ball to start the second half. Mentioned that the Browns deferred. Bears go 3 and out. The Browns defense continuing to play lights out. But once again, the Browns offense hurts the Browns defense. They get the ball 1st and 10 at the 40. Joe Flacco throws the ball in the middle of the field to Cedric Tillman. As Tillman's about to catch the ball it was almost the same moment. Tillman gets smoked, absolutely smoked. I can't remember who made the hit now, but he gets crushed as he's catching the ball. The ball pops up. Edmonds picks it off. He goes 45 yards for a touchdown. So without the Browns defense giving up really anything, they were down 14-7. Browns get it back, 3 and out. Bears move the ball. When they get it back, and they started at their own 30. They're able to get it down to the Browns' 23. Fortunately, they hold them to a field goal in this situation. And not give up the field goal. Keep the game within a reasonable margin, especially when the offense is not playing well. But when the Bears score that field goal with 7 minutes to go in the third quarter, things look fairly dire for the Browns. The offense had only one good drive all game. They couldn't run the ball. They couldn't pass protect very well, and things didn't get much better. Next Browns drive, 3 plays, negative 10 yards, punt. But the defense comes up big again. Bears, 3 plays, negative 9 yards, punt. Browns again get the ball, 4 plays, 13 yards, they punt. Okay? Now, here's where things get interesting. The Browns get great field position because on the punt, when the Browns punted down 17-7 with about 3 minutes to go in the third quarter, Bojorquez punts it down the field. He had another good day, by the way. Trent Taylor, who had muffed the punt earlier, and then either he or somebody was able to recover, I don't remember, muffs the punt again. The Browns cover it up. So now they got their chance. Looking for a turnover, they get it. You're down 10, but you start your drive 1st and 10 at the Bears 20. You figure worst case scenario, you get a field goal, you're back within a touchdown. Joe Flacco throws to the end zone, looking to hit David Njoku for a second touchdown of the game, and the ball was picked off. That was a really bad throw. It was a great play by Stevenson, but it was a really bad throw by Joe Flacco. He had David Njoku, waited too long to throw, gave the defender a chance to get back in the play. He made the pick. And at this moment, all hell is breaking loose on Twitter. People are jumping off the Flacco bandwagon. People are jumping off the Browns bandwagon. Everybody's yelling and screaming. I'm sure the Stefanski haters came out in fine fashion there for a moment. At that point, the Bears get the ball back. 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line, right? 1st and 10 at their own 35 after the interception. And you're down 10. So the Bears have the ball. They're up 10. They move the ball. And a couple of big plays. They had a 3rd down play where Justin Fields got 15 yards on the ground right after. And now think about this. Again, the Bears have it 1st and 10 at the Browns 42. They're up 10 points. There's less than a minute to go in the third quarter. The Browns offense outside of one drive had been absolutely useless all day. At this point, even I was starting to lose faith. I didn't give up, but I was like, okay, we're to the point now it's going to be really tough. Now here's the play of the game. This is the game right here. So after they get the first down on the Fields run, short running play by Deontay Foreman, Justin Fields incomplete. Rashawn Johnson on a 3rd and 8 play has a nice run. He hadn't done much. The Bears hadn't really run the ball either. I don't know what the final stats were on the Bears running. It didn't seem like 27 carries, 88 yards. Yeah, there was not much in the running game for either team. And if you take out Justin Fields, the Bears ran 20 times for 58 yards. They were not effective on the ground. But Rashawn Johnson had 2 nice runs, and this was one of them on this play. Gets 7 yards, gets stopped just short of the line of scrimmage. So that's the end of the third quarter. So again, start of the fourth quarter, Bears have it 4th and inches at the Browns' 33-yard line. You're down 10 and you're not moving the ball. The odds of the Browns winning at that point, I don't know what ESPN or NFL Network, they have all these analytics they run to tell you a percentage chance of winning. I didn't see what it was at the end of the third quarter, but the Browns' chances of winning down 10, Bears at the Browns' 33 with a 4th and inches, with an offense that had not been moving the ball. I doubt they would have rated to much of a chance. And as I said, that's when the play of the game happened. Justin Fields gets the ball. He rolls out to his right, and he has a chance to get the first down. It looks like he's going to get the first down. And rookie cornerback Cameron Mitchell dives, just barely gets Justin Fields' foot to trip him up, and he lands with the ball just shy of the first down marker. Great spot by the sideline official. And what looked like what he took off was going to be a first down. You think about it. He gets a first down there, and that's probably the death knell, because they're going to at least get a field goal, which means you would have needed at least 2 touchdowns. They're at least running more clock. By the time the Browns would have gotten the ball back, you're probably talking 12, 13 minutes, and you're down at least 13 points. But instead, the Browns get the ball and start a drive. Not only do they get the ball, but they have decent field position at their own 33-yard line. And so what happens? False start backs them up. But so it's 1st and 15 at 28. Again, offense not moving. We're into the fourth quarter. And then the next huge play of the game. The Browns had not gone downfield much at all. They hit Amari Cooper early in the game. But Marquise Goodwin, back from about a month or more in the concussion protocol. We hadn't heard from him all game. He goes streaking from the right side of the field to the left. Joe Flacco hits him in perfect stride. Jackson's got good coverage on him, so he's not that far away. But 57 yards on a 1st and 15. A fantastic throw by Flacco. A great play by Marquise Goodwin to never break stride. And instead of a 1st and long situation, you get 57 yards from Goodwin, and the Browns now have a 1st and 10 at the Bears' 15-yard line. That Goodwin play was absolutely huge, and that was the second play. First, the stop by Cam Mitchell, then the 57-yard play. The Browns have a 1st and 10 at the 15. Now, unfortunately, they don't really move the ball from there. They go backwards on a penalty. On a 2nd and 5, they get a first down play to Jerome Ford. Or they actually wasn't a first down play. It would have been like 3rd and 1 or 3rd and inches. Michael Dunn gets called for, Michael Dunn, who went into the game for Joel Bitonio, gets called for holding, and they get pushed back, and that basically kills the drive. So, but it's 4th and 10 at the 15. Obviously, he kicked the field goal, making a 1-possession drive, as he's done all year. Dustin Hopkins makes the kick. Now it's a 1-possession game. Now the defense, who has played great all day long, is asked to do more, and they get it done. A 3 and out, the Bears have to punt. Browns get it back. First down, 1st and 10 at their own 25. 10:35 to go. Unfortunately, they can't move the ball. Joe Flacco gets sacked on 2nd down. A long 3rd down play goes for naught, and the Browns have to punt again. So the Bears, still up a touchdown, get the ball at their own 33-yard line with about 8.5 minutes to go in the game. Bears do get 1 first down by Justin Fields. Again, using his legs on a 3rd down and 9 play. He almost slid before getting the first down, but he's able to kind of jump and fumble out of bounds. But he just gets the first down at the 43. But then the Browns shut it down. They force the Bears to punt. And the Browns get it back. Now they have the ball starting at their own 20-yard line. It's 17-10. There's 5 minutes and 18 seconds to go. No problem. Plenty of time. Browns have all 3 of their timeouts. Not much doing on first down. Short completion to Elijah Moore on 2nd down. It's 3rd and 2. Browns at their own 28. Remember here, the Browns have all their timeouts, but now you're down to 4.5 minutes. So, you know, how many will you get? 2 possessions, maybe? We'll see. Depends what happens with the Bears. 3rd and 2, Kareem Hunt is able to get 3 yards, going over left tackle Garrett Christian to just get the first down. So it's 1st and 10 at the 31. The next play, Browns at their own 31. Joe Flacco, it's a weird-looking play. Joe Flacco splits out wide to the left. Kareem Hunt takes the direct snap. Kareem Hunt snaps it, pitches it back to Flacco. Flacco throws it to Kareem Hunt. They get 12 yards and another first down. Now they're cooking. Now, 3 minutes and change to go. Browns down a touchdown. It's 1st and 10 at their own 43-yard line. Joe Flacco goes to David Njoku, 6 yards. 2nd and 4, just shy of midfield, just over 3 minutes to go. And now the 3rd massive play of the game. We talked about the stop by Cameron Mitchell. We talked about the long completion of Marquise Goodwin. Now the play that ties the game. Joe Flacco on a 2nd down and 4 finds Amari Cooper streaking down the right sideline. It's a perfect throw. He catches it in stride. He breaks a tackle. He maintains his balance, and he could have easily. That looked like 3 or 4 times where Cooper was almost going to fall out of bounds. He doesn't. He stays in bounds. He keeps his feet. He gets to the end zone. 51-yard touchdown. The extra point is good by Dustin Hopkins, and we are tied at 17 with 3 minutes to go. But the defense is not done, my friends. You still got to make plays. It's 17-17. Had the Browns scored later with less than a minute to go, I would have gone for 2. But they scored with plenty of time, 3:08. You stop them, you get the ball back, and that's why they kicked the extra point there. The Bears get the ball. And we now go so the Bears get it. And another big play in this game. I won't put it on the level with the 3 monster plays, but on the first play of the next drive, you know what? I'm adding it in. This is going into the monster plays. I've changed my mind. Myles Garrett was having a quiet day. He had a couple of just misses on sacks. 1st and 10 at the 25. You need your best players to step up. 17-17. Just over 3 minutes to go in the game. Everything on the line. Browns looking to get to 9 wins, to stay ahead of the Bengals who won, to stay ahead of the Texans who eventually won, to stay ahead of the Colts who won, to stay to stay 2 games ahead of the stinking Steelers who lost. Yeah! Calm down now. And on that first down play, they give it to Khalil Herbert. Myles Garrett hits him in the backfield for a 5-yard loss. So the Bears, they need to score It's 17-17. They've blown a double-digit fourth-quarter lead, and now they're looking at a 2nd and 15 at the 20. The Browns are now drooling. They're spitting on them. They're drooling, fighting, spitting. Who knows what else is coming out? The Bears can't do anything with it. They barely move the ball, and they have to punt again. Do the Browns have enough time? My man, Jason Lloyd, my man, Jay Crawford, are both complaining in our text group. Why didn't Stefanski call a timeout before the 2-minute warning? You didn't need a timeout. What's the difference? If you call a timeout before the 2-minute warning, you have the 2-minute warning still, but you only have 2 timeouts. If you don't call it before the 2-minute warning, well, you don't have the 2-minute warning, but you have 3 timeouts. To me, it was unnecessary to call it before. It's fine. You controlled the clock on offense. You had 3 timeouts and 2 minutes to go. That's plenty of time. And it was plenty of time. In fact, they almost had too much time. Browns, 1st and 10 at the 21, and right off the bat, another big play, number 5, Joe Flacco again to that man, David Njoku, who's having, like I said, huge couple of weeks. 31, first play, don't F around. 31 yards. Njoku breaking a tackle, gets all the way into Bears territory. 1st and 10 at the Bears 48. So you're thinking, okay, we're only about 10, maybe 15 yards away from a field goal. But the Browns, hey, listen, no rush here. You want to use some clock, you got your timeouts. Penalty on David Njoku on the next play, backs them back up into their own territory. Joe Flacco, miscommunication with Amari Cooper on the next play. A short pass to Jerome Ford on the next play. No gain. So now, at this point, I said, okay, it's fine. We'll go to overtime. That's what I said. I said that with 56 seconds left in the game. 56 seconds. The Browns were looking at a 3rd and 15 at the 47. I said, all right, probably not going to get the first down. You punt it, you bury them. We go to overtime. You try to win it that way. But that was not how this game was supposed to freaking end. It didn't. On 3rd and 15, the latest big play. Joe Flacco drops back to pass from shotgun. Sees David Njoku on the left side of the field. Hits him. Njoku hopping over guys, jumping. I don't know what the hell he did on this play, but he got 34 yards. 2 catches and 65 yards on the game-winning drive for David Njoku. 2 great throws by Flacco. 2 great catches and runs by David Njoku. He's been an absolute superstar, and the Browns have it 1st and 10 at the 19. They run the ball to get the ball in the perfect spot for where Hopkins wants to kick. Also, they forced the Bears to use all 3 of their timeouts, and when Dustin Hopkins lines up for the field goal, 4th and 7 at the Bears' 16-yard line, there are 36 seconds left. The kick is perfect. Hopkins gives them the lead. It's 2017. Bears will have 30 seconds and no timeout. 32 seconds and no timeouts. There's no way the Bears have a chance. Jay Crawford, who's seen more Browns losses than all of us, well, at least all of us in the UCSS crew, says, wait a second, Justin Fields makes me nervous with 30 seconds. He was right, but in the end, it worked out. So, first play, Browns get very lucky. Justin Fields looks for, what the hell was his name? Scott. I can't think of Scott's first name. What is Scott's first name? Travis Scott? Was it Travis Scott? I can't even think of the Bears player. Tyler Scott. That's who it was. Tyler Scott looks for Tyler Scott on the sideline. It's a good throw. Tyler Scott drops the ball. Of course, Darius Smith gets hurt on the play, as has been the case with the Browns. Browns call a timeout after the play at 2nd and 10 to 25. Then Justin Fields goes back to Scott. This time Scott holds the ball. A very poor job by Denzel Ward. Great to have him back, but a poor job on this play. And Greg Newsome both failed to make the tackle. He shuffles down the sidelines, a 30-yard gain. So now everybody starts to get nervous. Even I, who don't panic and don't think same old Browns as much as most people, got a little nervous. 1st and 10, Bears at the 45. Remember, they had no timeouts, but still 15 seconds to go. Not that far out of field goal range. Cairo Santos may not be Dustin Hopkins, but, kicker's a kicker. So, incomplete Justin Fields on 1st down. Timeout. 2nd down. Fields incomplete again to Cole Kmet. Now it's 3rd and 10 at the 45. Field goes out the window. There's only 5 seconds left. They're not obviously attempting a 62-yard field goal. Justin Fields is going to have to throw a Hail Mary, and that's the only chance for the Bears to win this game is if Justin Fields hits a Hail Mary. He drops back. He has time. He goes to the end zone. The ball pops up in the air. Oh, my God, what is going to happen? Mooney is down on the ground. He is laying on the ground. Is he going to catch the ball? Darnell Mooney. I couldn't think of his first name for a second. I'm so worked up about this play. The ball pops up in the air. Slowly, we all see it turning head over head, head over foot, head over tail. I don't know what the hell the head is, but the ball is going right into the belly of Darnell Mooney. No, it can't be the same old Browns. This is how the Browns used to lose games. They haven't lost games like this this year. Last year, yes. Many years, yes. But not this way, not this time. Mooney, though, it lands basically in his belly. It's going to be a Hail Mary touchdown. The Bears are going to win the game. But somehow, the ball pops up in the air again. Couldn't even tell if Mooney kind of knocked it up. Who the hell, or one of the Browns players knocked it up. And then it lands safely in the arms of DeAnthony Bell. Now, he started to run with it. I was going to go lose my mind if he got stripped, but all of a sudden when he got out of the end zone, he realized what he did. He takes the knee at the 1 yard line. It's over, and the Browns win it 20-17, and everybody is able to take a breath. When it's all said and done, Joe Flacco, who at times played poorly in this game, some bad throws, not protected particularly well, sacked 4 times, 3 interceptions, almost fumbled, could have had more interceptions. But in the end, he completes 28 of 44 passes for 374 yards and 2 big touchdowns, including the touchdown in the fourth quarter to tie it, and the setup, 2 big plays to David Njoku for the game-winning field goal. Amari Cooper and David Njoku both go over 100 yards. Haven't seen that very often from the Browns. David Njoku was targeted on 14 of Joe Flacco's 44 pass attempts. Between Njoku and Cooper, they were targeted 22 times out of the 44 passes. Njoku has 10 catches, 104 yards, and a touchdown. Cooper, 4 catches, 109 yards, and a touchdown. Marquise Goodwin was third of the team with the 1 catch, 1 target. It was a huge play, 57 yards. Cedric Tillman had 4 for 52. Not much else there. The running game, non-existent. The Browns running backs, Jerome Ford, Kareem Hunt mostly, and Pierre Strong, had 17 carries for 30 yards. It was not pretty. They couldn't run. They didn't even try in the second half. The offensive line, again, with only 1 starter left, struggled, but they were even worse in the run game, and they got the job done. Defensively, J.O.K. He's the one guy I haven't mentioned yet. Another great game. 2 tackles for a loss. Had one of the Browns' 3 sacks, along with Alex Wright, my man G. Bush's guy. He said he needed to step up this week, and he did. Cam Mitchell had the sack, of course, as well. The play, we talked about the big play where it started the whole comeback. The trip up of Justin Fields, that officially goes down as a sack. JOK also had 2 passes defended, a quarterback hit, and led the team along with Dalvin Tomlinson and Martin Emerson with 6 tackles. I thought Dalvin Tomlinson had one of his best games. He was a big force in the middle. 6 tackles, 2 for a loss, 2 quarterback hits. Myles Garrett, again, quiet statistically, did have 3 tackles, 1 for a loss, and that was the big play we talked about where he gets Khalil Herbert on a 1st and 10 play for the Bears, who were trying to regain the lead. DeAnthony Bell did some nice things in this game. It was good to have Denzel Ward back. He didn't, do much statistically, but it was really good to have him back, and hopefully another week of practice and freshness, because a big game next week. The Texans came back. They were down big against the Titans, and they found a way to win. The Browns have the Texans next week. Don't know if C.J. Stroud's going to play. They were able to beat Tennessee without him. That was pretty impressive. The Browns remain the 5 seed right now at 9-5. The Browns are tied with the Chiefs for the 3rd best record in the AFC at 9-5. The Jaguars game is pending still at this point. The Browns are the 5 seed. There are 3 teams with 8 wins as of this moment. The Bengals, the Colts, and the Texans. And the Bills will play, of course. They still have a game, so there could still be 4 teams with 8 wins. I think we'll all be rooting for the Cowboys to beat the Bills, because the Bills have a couple of easy games the next 2 weeks. So we'll keep an eye on that. But the Browns, comeback victory, very impressive. Great chance to get to double-digit wins. And if the Ravens do lose to Jacksonville, things could get pretty interesting in the AFC North. That's it for me for now. This is probably my longest podcast in 6 months, but I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you. Thanks to all of you for listening and watching. Thanks to Monzo for producing. We'll talk to you next time. And by the way, the next time I do a podcast, I'm doing a live podcast Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern. Live podcast. You'll have a chance to ask questions live. The first ever live edition of the Bullpen with Adam the Bull, Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern. More details coming up via Twitter in the next couple of days. Thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you next time. Where else but right here in the Bullpen with Adam the Bull. See ya. See ya, everybody.